After spending 47 years as part of the European Union, over the next few hours, Britain will formally walk away, making Brexit official and showing voters all around the democratic world that their vote matters, despite what the elites might have wanted to do to remake the original decision. Well, who better to get on the program on a day like this, a day that some thought would never arrive? Though that's not me, I'm not in that camp. Editor of The Spectator and co-host of Sky News Outsiders, Rowan Dean, live from Sydney. Well, Rowan, how do you feel? Vindication, sweet light?
It's a fantastic day. It's actually, Peter, a day that really should be up there with, you know, the fall of the Berlin Wall, the election of Donald Trump. It's a momentous day because it is really the first time, certainly in Europe's history, but almost in world history, where a group of people, it's a bit like Star Wars, you know, it's a group of people who have fought against this massive government structure, the EU, and won their own independence from it. And as Nigel Farage, who really is the politician who's brought this about, he's been campaigning for it for 27 years, he's brought it about, as he said in his farewell speech to the EU, we love Europe, but we hate the EU. We hate the whole structure of the president and the flags, and banning the British flag. The Union Jack was banned, so he quite cheekily flew it within the chamber of the EU Parliament on the last day as they were leaving. The importance here, as Farage said, is this is the first time really since, well, it's even bigger than Trump, and it's the first time globalism has been in direct confrontation with populism. And as Farage quipped, populism is proving very, very popular around the world. This is the first time, really, that a powerful global entity has had a small group of people saying, no, we're not having any of this. We want our independence back. We want to make our own decisions. And the interesting thing is, Peter, a couple of observations I'll make. One is there's a great piece in The Spectator by Toby Young, who says that all of a sudden in Britain, all those people who were such ardent Remainers are now going, oh, no, not me. No, I was never a Remainer. I was always just interested in what was happening. Even the editor of the FT, the Financial Times, campaigned aggressively against Brexit, and now even the editor's going, oh, no, I always thought, you know, it was a good idea. So this is one insight that's there. And the other is those people, Peter, who haven't given up their kind of Remain dreams. Hugh Grant being one of the dopier Hollywood types in Britain, who was running around in the run-up to the Boris Johnson election saying this would be the worst thing ever, and he was saying that today, you know, is a disaster for Britain. Well, he's completely wrong because, Peter, even just in the last few weeks since Boris won the election and it was clear that Brexit would be happening, the economy is racing ahead. They've had their best month they've had in 3 years. More people are employing. The numbers are looking great, and away we go. It's Trump all over again.
Yeah, look, I think Britain's going to get its mojo back absolutely out of all of this. And I implore people tonight, if they watch coverage, make sure you're looking for the litmus test outside of London, because London skewed on every single vote to Remain. The rest of the country dragged Britain into the reality that if it wanted to be democratic, it had to leave, and it did. I want to go to a local issue because I think it's important to put this on the record. Peter Dutton has strongly been pushing to deport, to send home people convicted of serious crimes in Australia, and to date 5,023 foreign nationals have been thrown out of Australia or are awaiting deportation under a crackdown that began in 2014. We're talking about crimes of pedophilia, murder, child rape, serious assaults. Now, in and around about the same time, the performance by the Labor Party in the deportations was about 600. It's extraordinary stuff, and I think credit where credit's due, Peter Dutton's keeping us safe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Liberals can stand proud that they've deported 10 times more people than Labor were prepared to. Human nature doesn't change, so, you know, there are rapists, there are sex offenders, there are criminals, there are wife beaters and no doubt husband beaters, who knows, in amongst that lot. But the point is that there are a lot of pretty ugly crimes that have been committed by people who we've let into this country generously, and Peter Dutton's determined to boot them out. Labor are always prepared to kind of find an excuse to keep people in and to say, oh, no, there will be some drama in their childhood or something that happened to them wherever they might have come from that explains their behaviour. But the reality is, Peter, Dutton is a great minister, he's a great Home Affairs Minister or Home Minister, and Australians would be 100% behind these figures and behind what he's doing.
And look, I couldn't let this pass. Greta Thunberg, just like Meghan Markle, putting a trademark out there over her name and also her, striking school children movement. Now, doesn't surprise me, does it?
Not at all. And she was aware enough. And I never criticise Greta Thunberg. I criticise those who are pulling her strings. And it's pretty clear the parents and others are behind it. They're the ones who will be making the money. Even Greta was self-aware enough to say this is a bit embarrassing because she's always railing against capitalism. And, of course, why do you trademark a name like that? To make money out of it by selling products that will be produced with fossil fuels, no doubt. Hypocrisy writ large by those pulling the strings of Greta Thunberg. Child abuse is what I call it.
Absolutely. Look, well, and she'll have a good line, I'm sure, in hot air. Jarred, hot air. Anyway, Rowan Dean, enjoy your Brexit day. Thanks for your time. See you next week.
Thanks, Peter.